That light on. Oh, okay. Where's my cards? Um, how are you? It's so weird that I haven't seen you all week, and I don't like it. It's not my favorite. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to figure out some way to get a coffee and magic in the beginning of the week once my schedule settles in. Right now, it's very chaotic, so it's not working. But you know, here's hoping. Here's hoping. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Christine. Hi, Suzette. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Ellie. Good morning, Meredith and Melissa. Hi, Anna. Hello. Priscilla wants to come in. I'm not going to let her. I'm not going to let her because she's crazy. Like, anytime I'm doing a live, she's like climbing up the screen, doing all kinds of stuff. So we're not doing it. Good morning, Cindy. I'm good. It's just been like no chill as far as like just being in it. Like I went from being able to like completely dictate my schedule all day long to suddenly being like in an office with fluorescent lights and all kinds of stuff, having learned new computer systems, like things that my brain is like, that kind of thing. And then my kids started school this week, so we're everybody's in a new routine and like doesn't really know what to do. And all my kids want to do is like lay in their new beds in their room. That's all they want to do. And I'm like, well, you have to get up at 6:30. Like, I don't want to either, but we do. And then they come home and eat all the food in the house. So we're just doing that. But it will get there. It will get there. It's a lot, but it's also like I'm reminding myself it's exactly what I want, right? Everything that's kind of happening right now is happening very fast and a little bit intense, but it's like it's exactly what I asked for. So I'm not complaining. I mean, I'm complaining a little, but like not seriously. You know what I mean? Also, I stopped eating sugar over 2 weeks ago, and it has made me feel a lot better too. So, but there's also like an adjustment with that with my energy levels because I wouldn't have said like, oh, I eat a lot of sugar, but like turns out I did. So that's been an adjustment, but also good. Also good. I have a story for you because I haven't seen you all week. I have a story for you that I think is appropriate to this Virgo energy we're in and kind of like the on ramp to eclipse season, which starts on the 17th, if you can believe it. Um, in the Normalized Magic workshop on Wednesday, we were talking about the eclipse upcoming and kind of like, what's kind of coming up for you as we on ramp to it. And what really hit for me was going back to 2016 and that 8 years that have been leading up to this time. Normally for eclipse season, like we've probably been together for a few eclipse seasons. Like this is the time of year when things go so fucking crazy and it spits everybody out at my birthday and everyone's a mess and like my birthday's all weird, right? Well, this year, I guess the universe heard me and they were like, let's do it early. So it's not even in your birthday month, but it's not about me. But I don't feel like worried about this eclipse season because I don't think you should either because we've really put the work in, right? So anything coming up now is it's not new, right? It's like not new stuff. Like we know what this is and we know what to do. And I think this Virgo energy is going to kind of help us get a little organized as we lead up to it. So I love that. I've been doing tons of cleaning and organizing this house, getting out old stuff. And then this is where the story is. So some of you may remember my blue velvet couch, right? It's kind of been in the shot for years, like, in different coffee and magics. Definitely, if you ever did my course back in the day called Reactivation, I literally filmed it sitting on that couch. This blue velvet couch was a big deal because back in 2008, 18, 2018, when we moved to the schoolhouse, that was the first piece of furniture that I bought. And it was the first piece of furniture that I bought that was just what I wanted, right? It wasn't practical, it wasn't good for kids, it wasn't like easy to clean. It was just a totally different vibe. It was like what I wanted. I wanted fucking velvet, right? I saw that blue velvet couch at the Home Goods and I was like, you are coming home with me. So I put it in the actual schoolhouse, which is where I held yoga classes and women's circles and all kinds of things. And that couch has, held so many special people and so many special moments to me. Like so much of who I am right now and the growth and like expansion and pain and sorrow and joy, all those things have revolved around that couch in so many ways. I've, done Reiki attunements on it. Like I said, so many women's circles. And even, my kitty took his last moments, like sit on my lap, sitting on that couch. And when I moved out of the schoolhouse, I took that couch with me. So it went to Penn Street with me. I brought it back and then it came here. And I put it in my office and it was big for that room, but I put it in the office. And when the snakes came, I really couldn't keep it there. And it was interesting because the snakes came the moment after Leo Kitty left, right? And I just couldn't fit it. So we moved that couch out, and there was nowhere else in this house that that couch could fit properly. It didn't fit anywhere. So I put it in the garage, and we've been like moving everything everywhere for the past like 2 weeks. And my friend Claudia, hi Claudia, was over and saw it in the garage and was like, "Are you getting rid of that?" And I was like, "Well, I was gonna put it on Facebook Marketplace, but like yeah, I want you to have it." And the more I thought about it, I was like, "Oh my god, yes, this is so perfect." And so they came and picked it up yesterday, and it's for Claudia's magic room. And I just kind of sat with that couch for a moment and just thought about everything that has happened surrounding that couch and actually how beautiful it is that I'm done with that couch. Like how amazing it is that I can see that like whatever that was, I'm starting something new. And that couch doesn't need to stay with me anymore. I will never forget the couch, obviously. But now it gets to move into a new space. Like it's kind of like the letting go of that and letting it move into a new space to create magic for somebody else and be important for somebody else. And that just feels really like the vibe right now, right? It's like let go of some things that you're energetically done with and let them go create new energy and new magic for someone else. So that's what I've been doing in my whole house. Like everything is just moved around and that's what we're doing energetically I think in life right now, right? It's all shifting around and it's kind of like a musical chairs and the music hasn't stopped yet. So it's hard sometimes to feel rooted or solid in any way because things just keep fucking moving, right? But notice what doesn't move. Notice what doesn't move. And also notice how easy it is to let things flow around you when you can actually trust yourself. Because I think you can now, right? So that's what I have to say this morning. It's been a time of life, as always. It fits so perfect in your house. Like I can't even believe how perfect it is in that house. So I'm just ecstatic. And ironically, I lost that office anyway because now it's one of my kids' rooms, but even that feels really good. It feels good to have made some decisions that are literally like not for necessarily my best comfort, right? Because Lord knows, and you know, that all I wanted was to completely fill that room with snakes from top to fucking bottom. I even had it sketched out. I measured from top to bottom in that room how many tanks I can fit, how many expansions I needed for when they get bigger. Like I was going to at least have like 10 snakes in that room. Okay. And I was very excited about it. So, you know what I mean? Like, so it wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it did not benefit me necessarily in like the most obvious way, but giving them their own rooms has just really shifted the energy in my home. Like it's different in the best of ways. So I don't know. Take from that what you will. I'm bananas. I still want more snakes. I don't know where I'm gonna put them. I don't know where I'm gonna put them. I only have 5, and, like, I understand that might sound like a lot of snakes to you, but if you're in, like, the reptile community, I hardly rank. Like, people have, like, 50 snakes, and I don't want 50, but I want, like, 10. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's get to Coffee and Magic, though, because you need to know what this says, right? Because you don't know, and I don't know either. Like, I'm actually really interested to see what this vibe is. Um, Let me give you 3 things. Oh, I know what I'm gonna give you. You're gonna love it. I'm gonna give you, um, the 3 so snakes don't live in an enclosure together. So, no, Christine, there are, I think, a couple kinds of colubrid snakes that can live together, but snakes are solitary, so they don't live in the same enclosure. So each one needs their own. And I'm like very extra. So I'm like, everyone needs the exact, like, bigger than necessary space for themselves. So we're talking at minimum like 4 by 2 by 2 tanks, right? And then accounting for when they get bigger. So it's a lot to think about if I'm being like extra responsible. But every snake has to have their own personal enclosure because otherwise they will like fight for like the best spot in the tank, the best basking spot. And then when you're feeding, it can be like really crazy. They don't interact with each other in a social way for the most part at all, unless they're, you know. Um, so anyhow, I'm gonna give you the 3 textures that I use to decorate any space. This is my hack if you wanna decorate your house like me. It's very, very scientific. The first one is velvet, second one is faux fur, and the third is plants. So, velvet, faux fur, or plants. What decorating hot tip are you feeling this morning that will correspond with your cards? Velvet, faux fur, and plants. Hi, Rosa. Oh, gold velvet curtains. In my bedroom, I have kind of like a copper velvet blackout curtains, and the most, yeah, when in doubt, just like velvet, plants, faux fur. It's a vibe, and everyone will be like, "Oh my god, like what is?" And it's like, no, it's my simple technique. And then you get a little crazier, right? Like I also like gold accents. I like anything with snakes on them. Like, it's very obvious. Throw some crystals in there, a rug. Easy, easy. You do need velvet curtains. I need some curtains in here. I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. Actually, you know, like it's gonna kill me. 'Cause I have like I just thought of a really great job for her to do. Because I have these I'm so being so distracted. I have these shelves, right? And they line above the windows in this whole entire room. They're kind of low though, right? Um, and I'm thinking if I got rid of those shelves, which I don't put anything on because they're kind of weird, if I got rid of those shelves entirely, I could put velvet curtains that hang from the top of the ceiling to give it some more height in here. And that would be so cool. And it would also help with the temperature regulation in here. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, your choices again: velvet, faux fur, and plants. I might need you to, Claudia, because you're very tall. If you show up here these days, I'm probably going to put you to work moving something. Oh. All right. Tell me when you're ready for velvet. I would like velvet plants too, I bet. That would be pretty. Do you know what's velvet? Pumpkins at Target. Okay, you're ready. So this is your velvet. Velvet faux fur and plants are your thingies for today. Are you ready? Because it caught my vibe, I think. Butterfly, birth and rebirth, and the bard. Okay, my velvet friends. Okay, so again, look at this. These two together are friends because this merry lad is, singing about a new story, right? And I think these two combined almost have fool energy, right? It almost has what's the one? Oh my god, the novice. It almost has the novice energy. It's like novice energy with more whimsy and direction. Let me put it that way. That's what this vibe is. So the bard and birth and rebirth are basically talking about how are you going to write this next chapter, right? How are you going to do that? How are you going to make it different from the previous one? What are you going to lean into this time? You have so much opportunity to do that. And really, the beauty of this is everything that you do has an aspect that is fresh and new for you, but also very familiar, right? So it's a whole new journey. You are the architect, you are the artist, you are the locus point, right? So is that what I mean? Let me Google that. Sometimes I just say things. Oh my god, it's a math term. I hate Bing. I want Google. All right. A locus point is a set of all points whose location satisfies or is determined by one or more. The meaning of locus is a place where something is situated or occurs. Yeah, I think it did it right. Okay, yeah, you are the locus point. You are the point where all things meet. So take that and run with it. Okay, organize, remove energies, be they physical objects, things like that, be they ways of thinking, be they whatever. Let them move around. Let them flow where they need to flow and really get to work writing. Be creative. I love that. Okay. Shuffling now. Oops, my YouTube. Shuffling now. I'm not winking. It has me in my eye. For faux fur. I used to find the best faux fur pieces at TJ Maxx. And I think now it's so popular that there just isn't like unique faux fur pieces like there used to be. If there's a place where you've seen a lot of faux fur pieces, please let me know because I really enjoy them. They have to be washable. Everything has to be washable. All right. Tell me when you're ready. Again, your choices this morning are velvet, faux fur, and plants. And this is your faux fur. And tell me when you're ready for it. Okay. Eagle, lady of the lake, water fairy. Okay. So, eagle, lady of the lake, and water fairy. Now, we can't talk about this lady without talking about your boundaries. Okay. And, I've been really thinking lately about the words we use that are connected to energies. If when I say boundaries, like, okay, let me put it this way. When I say boundaries, what does your body do? How does your body react to that word? I'm going to wait. You need to tell me. You've somehow entered into a mini workshop this morning. So you're welcome. I don't have a session after this. So I'm just kind of making up for not being here Monday, I guess. When I say boundaries, what sensation happens in your body? What do you feel in your body? Boundaries. Okay. Chris says tightness, closing up. Suzette says my body gets tense. Zen Phoenix says protective. Claudia says safe and also scared because I feel I'm failing. Okay, it's a lot to unpack there, huh? Um, but generally speaking, we're seeing tense, protective, tight. Okay, so let's notice that because I say boundaries a lot, right? I'm sure you hear boundaries a lot. You probably talk to yourself about boundaries a lot. And if every time you say that, you are connecting it with a tense feeling, that's something we just need to have a perspective shift about. So if the word boundaries makes you go, "Ooh," we just need to change the word because what does a boundary actually mean? When I say boundaries, this is kind of the vibe I mean, right? It's the difference between quietly suffering and being at the mercy of everybody else's whims and dysfunctions and just being in your own energy and being able to confidently say yes to this and no to that. And it's also about being honorable. And you may not think of it that way. You may not think of boundaries connecting to being honorable or kind, but a person with boundaries is a person you can trust. A person without boundaries is a person who you never really know how they feel about anything. You never really know if, do you really want to be here right now? Of course I do. I love you. Okay, right? A person who, if you can trust a person, if you say, do you want to go do this with me? And they say yes, it's a full body fucking yes, because they have in the past said to you, you know what? I love you so much, but this activity doesn't appeal to me at this time. I'm not really in the space for it, but definitely hit me up another time. That's a boundary. Do you realize that? That person was just giving you a boundary. And they're also being loving and kind to you because they're letting you know that that's not what they feel like doing right now. So when they say, yes, I do want to do that, you can relax, right? Because there's probably nothing else they'd rather do. They just want to be with you and do this thing, right? That's the kind of boundaries I'm talking about. The boundaries that allow you to open up in your relationships with other people because you don't constantly feel like you have to be what you're not in order to be in relationship with them. Okay? You don't constantly feel like you have to white lie your way through everything because you just can't say, I don't want to do that, right? Because on the other side of I don't want to do that, what the fuck are you afraid of? Are you afraid of losing a mediocre friendship that makes you feel kind of ick most of the time? Like, what is it that we're doing, right? So, Lady of the Lake has a lot to say this morning, apparently, or this lady does. And that's what I mean when I say boundaries. I mean creating kindness pathways and procedures that allow you to navigate your interactions with the world around you and with other people in a way that is honest and makes you a trustworthy person. Okay? Honor and trust. You must have boundaries for those things. So that's number one. Then you have water fairy and eagle flitting around here. Your feelings may have come under a bad rap for most of your life, right? Are you too emotional? Do you have too big feelings? Like whatever it is that you feel like your emotions get you off track. This is asking you to connect your emotions to your higher self and learn what there is to learn through the feelings that are happening right now and allow them to help you establish these healthy boundaries. So you can just go ahead and unpack that. I said a lot of words, but hopefully it was helpful. That was your faux fur. And last but not least, of course, is plants. My plants need some love because, to be honest with you, a lot of my energy has been going to snake care and um, not as much to my plants. And so they're kind of like, "Hey, remember us?" And I do remember you, and I'm gonna get there. See, like even that one right there, you can tell thirsty, thirsty. I'm gonna get you. All right, shuffling for plants. Plants coming at you. If you're just joining us and you missed the first two polls, that's okay. You can always rewatch on my Instagram or on my YouTube. You can do that. If you would like to donate to Coffee Magic, you can go to my website, sarahmala.com. Scroll all the way down. I don't know if I have the links up right now. I may have messed that up, but you can always send a donation for Coffee Magic. Okay, this is your plants. You have truth, birth and rebirth, and the owl. All right, let's get into it, plant people, because you guys maybe have been up to a little bit of mischief. So here's the owl first and foremost. Somebody is, for lack of a better term, fucking with you a little bit right now, and I think that it feels like a very self-serving but not anchored manipulation. What do I mean by that? Good question. It feels like it feels like you're like you're being manipulated, but there's isn't even a clear intention that stays. um how do I explain this energy? It's so fucking weird. Okay, let me try to put it this way. There's a someone who is manipulating you at this time. But the way that they're manipulating you is by conveying a certain energy your way. That's like what they want, right? But they don't even really know that they want that. So that's the extra big problem with this specific manipulation. Because normally, not normally, but like, in a in a straightforward manipulation situation, the person manipulating you knows what they want and then they're manipulating you to get that, right? So like that's the transaction. Like I'm manipulating you because I want something specific and then I'm going to get that. But this person who is manipulating you isn't even really sure if they want that. So they're going to manipulate you to get the thing that they want. And when you give it to them, they're going to be like, "I don't know though. I don't know. Do I even want that?" Like this feels like a not you problem, but now it's a you problem. Do you know what I'm saying? Like this is a personality problem and like many like probably years of therapy needed for this person right here. But on your side, you got to figure this out, right? So if you've been feeling like that little like back of your head tingle that's like something isn't right here, but like it feels like what I want, right? You know what I mean? Like if like it's something's a little off, but like, oh, let's see what happens. Like that kind of vibe. Can you trust yourself a little bit? Like, oh, a little bit. Like, have you not figured out that you actually do know things? Um, it's time to lean into a direction of what is true for this version of self that is here now. Whatever this manipulation is that clear? Whatever this manipulation is here that's happening is taking you away from the truth of who you have become and instead anchoring you back into previous truths. That's why this is so confusing because you can't just say it's not true stuff because it was true. It was true for you, but it's not in the world you've been building. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? I feel like I'm trying so hard to. But this is a lot of like really this is complicated, interwoven, layered energy with this card pull. Like it's a lot to sort through, and yet the most complicated, layered things can be cut through cleanly and easily if you have a sharp enough knife. Okay, so hone the present truth of who you are. So it is so sharp, it can cut right through this bullshit and you can move on and continue on your merry way. Okay? So, so planty. Interesting set of polls this morning, my friends. Very interesting indeed. All right, well, that's that. That's a wrap on Coffee and Magic. I hope that you have a good weekend and that it proves to be a time of fun for you. I don't know. I feel like a lot of you guys are like in a weird thing. Like, what are you up to? What are you doing? Because I feel like a lot of you did choose plants, right? Like, that's interesting. Keep me updated on your drama. Okay. I love you. I will be back next Friday. Well, yeah, I'll be back next Friday. If there's some way that I can pop on earlier in the week, I will. But I don't know. But thanks for being here today. Do you know what you can do to help me? Actually, let me tell you. Once I put this video up on like my posts on Instagram and stuff or in my stories, share it. If you can share it like to your stories or like whatever, however you do that, that would really help me kind of like just, gain a little more traffic. I don't post enough, I think, and I don't post anything super interesting these days, but you know, keep it going a little bit. That would be helpful to me. Thank you so much. Mwah. Goodbye, friends.